can't really do both at the same time, huh? A man cannot protect if he himself has not been protected. A man cannot protect if he himself has not been protected. God put men on this earth to protect. God put men on this earth to protect. It is hard for a man to protect when he himself has never felt protected within, was never protected himself from those around him and his own being, inviting in the feminine to sit with these emotions and release to their root. So that way, it can be prepared. Men are supposed to help and make the people around them feel protected, assured, and safe to authentically be themselves without the threats of endangerment because they have the full, pure, and capacity to harm and destroy life. They have the pure capacity to destroy time as well, time and time again. Yet, this isn't possible if said man does not currently feel safe within his heart, pushing things to imbalance, ego, pain, and misstated rules and perceptions. But passions and laws of integrity and compassion will bring him back to his heart. Integrity gives protection, lets men have integrity. Integrity includes protection in their masculinity. The empathic notion of a man. Integrity plus compassion is what it means to be a man. One that is able to protect, one that's able to adhere to what the people around him needs. Because obviously all of us on this earth, we need each other. We all play a role. We all play a role. And despite that fact, we've seen the role become unbalanced since the beginning of time. This is nothing new. It is not new that it's now just unbalanced. No, it's been collectively happening. Every single time humanity reset, it happened. Every single time it reset, it happened one way or another. And at some points, it was women on top too. And we still reset. So there's still something that we need to learn within the both of us, within what we're supposed to give to each other and not take, you know. And one of the things that I'm specifically talking about today that men are supposed to give and not take is to give passion. They're supposed to give protection. They're supposed to give security. They're supposed to give structure. Men are the ones put on this earth, and even in the Bible, there's essays and more things that I'm doing that are coming out about this. But men are meant to do what they can on this earth. They don't need to be creative in order to get money on this earth. They don't need to create in order to fuel their heart, you know, in a sense. Like, they don't need to create in order to be okay on this earth, to have material wealth, gain friends, things that they need, you know. On women on the other end, they have to create. Women on the other hand, they have to create in a sense that we're connected to the divine, and we need to get creativity out in order to push more into this world, in order to keep the world flowing, as in the things that we're supposed to give and take. And men are supposed to create that structure for women to create, for the people around them to create. And in turn, them creating, having fun, doing their thing, harmonizing, will instill into him compassion and care into whatever he's doing to make a living on this earth. Because a living is material. Man is masculine, masculine is material, material is the earth. It was the first one made from the earth. Men meant to tend everything and take care of it and do it how it's supposed to, right? And then woman came as a gift, as a creative gift. As in, what can she create? What can she bring in? How can we expand what is already here that you have already taken care of, that you have already set down? How can we expand this? How can we understand what you have already set down? You know, like some of the stuff they set down, were you angry with it? Were you upset? Were you sad? Were you happy? Let's understand that. And then a woman too, she's going to be curious. What things is she specifically curious about? What things is the man going to now show integrity? This is all for you. I care for you. And safety at the end of the day, not hitting her, not hurting her, not making her feel less than, not making her feel like she's too much, not making her feel like she's too little. Because if you, as a man, if you're doing your due diligence and making the people around you feel safe, they will show up to you naturally as they are. And if they're showing up to you naturally as they are, if it is within a way of also compassion and sweetness and care, you better try and give that back to them. You better try and not even get, it rubs off on you as a man. Like a man within a woman's vicinity, it will always rub off on him. The essence of caring for somebody, the essence of having a nice life, of enjoying life, even him going to work, whatever job that may be, he's going to be more happy. He's going to be more content. That is if he's properly taken care of her. If he's properly taking care of them and letting the people around him have the space that they deserve. Meaning that he's letting them feel their emotions. You know, like if just because he's not feeling his emotions doesn't mean that the other people around him should be feeling it, right? He holds space for them to feel their emotions. He holds space for them to be honest. He holds space for them. He doesn't get angry or lash out at the facts, at the possibility of their honesty. He doesn't get angry or mad or erratic at the possibility of the difference within the people around them. No, a compassionate man, a man with integrity, chills the fuck out. Literally lets the people around him show him who they are, and he will reap the benefits at the end of the day. And if that people is not for him, he lets them go. He lets them know. He doesn't keep them around. Why would he do that? Just to sabotage his life? No, he wouldn't keep them around because then he would be lying to him too. He wouldn't keep around people that he doesn't like because he wouldn't be able to protect them in a way that they deserve. That's not integrity nor compassion, you know? So society has definitely been a thing of like, we've seen how at least within our specific one, I look like Betty Boop, but within our specific one currently, we see how masculinity has been so toxic, and we live in a, what do they call it? A patriarch, right? Yeah, a patriarch. And I personally didn't feel like this was a matter that affected me, but in reality, it affects all of us, literally, and to the higher point as well. Because what has happened within my life that I've endured within masculine energies and feminine energies up until now is honestly a direct reflection as to how the world is, you know, how women literally need to just stand up and take what is for them and say what is not for them and keep it pushing. And men need to take up the responsibility that, hey, you are on this material world, and hey, you should take care of everything, not just your money, not just your games, not just your friends. Take care of everything, and that shows compassion, that shows integrity, and in turn it's going to make him feel more uppity in life. We have apparently a depressed man, a sad man pandemic. And when I first heard this, like years ago when I was in like high school and stuff, I was like, oh, that's sad. I had compassion. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys are sad. But it's your fault to a certain extent, you know, like society. I don't like playing the blame game, right? So I'm not gonna blame the individual man, but there are solutions. And if we don't know the solutions, well, here I am, giving them to you. Be open, learn to be open. It is okay to be open, more than okay, especially the world that we're going into. Why would you not want to be open? You like to play your games because you love yourself, right? It's something that you like, right? You like to hoop because you love yourself, right? It's something that you like, right? You like to go to work because you like money. That's something that you like, right? Same, right? Same. That being said, you like yourself, so you gotta treat people around you nice because that's what you like, right? Right. So if you like yourself, treat yourself like how you deserve. Treat yourself and the people around you how they deserve, because you treating the people around you like how they deserve will reflect onto you. And you treating yourself how you deserve will reflect onto them. And if it don't, then it's not meant to be. Truth be told, it's not meant to be. And it is okay for things not meant to not be met. There's 8 billion of us on here, bro. Billion. Jesus. Billion. It's getting a lot. And it's getting a lot. It's getting a lot, and it's getting a lot. And if we just keep on multiplying like this, but our minds are not growing, where do you think that's going to take us? We do hold the Bible, right? We do hold the Bible, right? And we do, I mean, it goes without saying, like, we do know that civilizations have been overturned time and time again, right? I feel like we have a direct message to exactly what we're supposed to be doing and what's going to come. And as we're multiplying and we're still not seeing the message, we're still not getting the message, God's really going to be, hey, the message is here. Men, learn compassion, learn integrity. Give the people around you space. Do not lash out on them. Do not. Because giving them space will in turn give you space. And you will let things go that you did not know that you need to let go. You let people go that you did not know that you need to let go. You will shed things. Parts of you will die. We are everlasting, right? After death is always a rebirth, right? So let parts of you die. The parts that are not helping you, the parts that are not helping you be happy, the parts that are giving you high blood pressure, the parts that are making you be in pain. Man, come on. You're a backbone. And it's reflecting within the economy how it is going. Directly, I'm so deeply in tune, and 110%, each and every single thing is connected. So how the economy is connected to how the spiritual is. The masculine within this world is not approaching its due diligence as it should within the compassion and integrity as well. It's taking the material world and sold itself to the world. It's decided to stand alongside the devil while pointing the finger at the women for being beside the devil. You know, while women are now taking up things for what they are and trying to make something for themselves because they've learned that they cannot put their trust into, first off, anybody but themselves, because you as you're with yourself at the end of the day no matter what. you came into this world alone through your mom's coochie, and you're gonna die alone through your mom's coochie, you know? And arguably not alone, because the unconditional love of the mother, but we come into lives, and we live those lives, and those lives are lived. When the sun sets, it's night. When the sun rises, it's day. If you know, you know. Speaking of parables, okay? Oh, that rhymed. Is that all I'm gonna say? I think so. I feel like I have one more thing to say, but I'm gonna leave y'all curious because this is, yeah, I'll leave y'all curious. I feel like there's one more thing I want to say. Let me not be a perfectionist. Let me not be a perfectionist. I like my pixie cut. I feel like at some angles, it makes me look like a little bar. And that I was just like, okay, girl, you know, it's definitely how like I comb it too. Not me talking about my hair. No, literally, and this is what I mean. You gotta let the women around you be themselves, be feminine. Oh, I was talking about the women, right? Okay, I'm gonna say that part and then leave. That's why women now are coming up and doing their thing and realizing that, yeah, first of all, you gotta have trust within yourself. Y'all see my mind? This is literally my mind, bro. Okay, anyways, you gotta have trust in yourself. If you're still here, hearts and kisses, love you. You get it. You're here to learn, to teach. But women are now saying, yo, I cannot depend on nobody. Not my daddy, not my mommy, nobody. Not that one friend. Not a friend, nobody. Until, okay? It's not just nobody, until I got it with myself. Right? So they're picking up and being like, it's tough, you know? But this is honestly something that every single human needs to do. They're picking it up and figuring out that, hey, yo, I can actually make money through my creativity. I can actually make money while being myself. Because now we're learning the feminine ways, how it was supposed to be. Because how does it go? His money is my money. His money is his money, my money. Right? Right. That's just how it is since the beginning of time. And I feel like that should continue. Not even feel, it is. It should continue 110% because the women bring so much healing, so much connection. Is the direct connection to the divine. Direct. Every single month. Someone, like, she's going through stuff directly in connection with the divine, in connection with the earth. I mean, knowing stuff before I even turn on the TV, turn on the news and see exactly what I knew. I'm like, dang, why the fuck would you do that? You know? But this is why. Because today, men lack compassion and integrity. And since the beginning of time, during Jesus' time, our beginning of time, men have lacked compassion and integrity. Jesus' time, they lacked so much compassion and integrity. They were drinking wine in front of his bleeding guts. Okay? I think that says all that it needs to say. I'm just about to speak. That says all it needs to say. I love you so much. Thank you for watching another episode of Alchemy of Emmanuel. Emmanuel Speaks. Subscribe, like, comment, share to a friend. Jesus Christ ain't do nothing. Okay? He said it. Okay, that's all.